Hey, welcome everybody to today's session. Today's topic we are covering is helping entrepreneurs go big in North America. Today's session is organized by IES INCA together with Startup Junkie. We have Ethan Tan with us, who will be sharing about Startup Junkie and how you can be able to reach Walmart's business associates as well as big brands in America to grow your business in a big way. Okay, but first let me do an introduction to IES and IES INCA for those who are new and joining us here for the first time. Okay, yeah. And today's program, we will have an introduction to IES INCA, and then we'll have introduction to Startup Junkie, followed by Q&A and some networking time where you can share more about your own work and get to know each other better. Okay, so for those who are new to us, IES is actually the Institution of Engineers Singapore. It's the national body for engineers, has been around since 1966. And our mission is to advance and promote the science, art, and profession of engineering for the well-being of mankind. Our vision is to be the heart and voice of engineers in Singapore and to be a national body and home for engineers here. So this is our current IES Council that has just been renewed in the new year. Current president is Mr. Delson Chong. He works in NEA and he represents part of the government sector. We actually have engineers from different disciplines as well as different sectors of engineering and companies as well as private sector companies, government sector as well as academia. So it's really a great mix of engineers leading the institution. IES is also divided into different clusters that look after different areas of engineering and drive progress in the engineering discipline, as well as networking and also business opportunities, training and upgrading of engineers. So from here, IES has grown into IES INCA, which is stands for IES Incubator Accelerator. Our role is really to support engineers who are doing tech commercialization and to scale up their business. So IES INCA's role is to connect technology entrepreneurs, mentors, and investors in the IES venture community and to build sustainable and successful technology ventures. Okay. And what does IES INCA do? We hope that through our work, we can build up a vibrant engineering venture community that really transform life through the innovation that we do and also in the technology development and implementation. IES INCA is strength is we are linked to the largest network of engineering professionals in Singapore and also recognized as the national body for engineers. And we aim to be the hub for all engineering related new ventures that will link universities, polys, the private sector, and also research institutes. Yeah. So we talk to everybody in the promotion of engineering and engineering ventures. So we started in 2019. Since then, we have established ourselves as a community builder in the deep tech ecosystem. And we have been supporting 20 incubatees, 80 plus mentors in our network, as well as build up our investor database to invest into some of these companies. And up to 800 plus participants have joined our events in the last 3 years. Yeah. So we also have partnerships with various companies and also community builders in Singapore, and we continue to support the engineering growth of these companies. Okay. So some of the events that we had in the last 3 years, we were doing a lot of offline events, and then we had to go online because of COVID. Moving forward, we hope to have more offline events where we can meet more people and have more exchange of business ideas and also engineering knowledge as well as growth of the companies. Yeah. Okay. So IES INCA's role end-to-end is we help companies, IES member companies or engineer companies, corporate SME spin-offs, IHL spin-offs through our support in engineering translation, guidance through mentors, as well as through linking to people who can help these companies, and lastly in business support training to help these companies to grow. Yeah. Okay. And connecting them to investors business network and also customer markets is important. And today specifically, Startup Junkie is our partner to help bring some of these companies into the USA market. Okay, and in our work as IES INCA, we help the companies who are ready with their customer validation and discovery done to be able to plan their business well, to be able to source the necessary fundraising, to go to new markets and also execute their business plan. Once they have a strong executable business plan and the fundraising, they execute incubation with us. Okay, so the focus areas of IES INCA is infrastructure technology, building related materials, processes and facilities management, IoT for industrial purpose and smart cities, robotics automation, and clean tech sustainability. These are the companies we want to build and support in the scale-up stage of the journey. Okay, yeah, just skip this. Some of our partners that we work closely with, Enterprise Singapore, ISCA, NUS, NTU, and together we have formed an investor network that has 12.2 million to invest into companies. So these are looking for suitable companies to invest in, and we guide the companies so that they can be able to raise their investments. Okay, and part of IES extension is we have the equivalent of IES in the ASEAN countries, which we hope to bring some of these companies to as well. So this is part of our network in the ASEAN Federation of Engineering Organizations. Okay, we also run courses to help engineers who want to scale up their business knowledge. So feel free to sign up for some of our courses to be able to learn some of these business skills. And that's my contact. Feel free to speak to me if you have any business ideas or technology companies you want to build, or you want to join incubation program with us, and happy to help fellow engineers. So I want to hand you now over to our main speaker for today. We have Mr. Ethan Tan, who is from Startup Junkie, and he's lots of experience in the USA market as well, to be able to guide you and link you up with the right party so that you can assess the world's biggest market and most strong spending power. Over to you, Ethan.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, all of you. Thank you, Andy, for the introduction. I was speaking to Eric earlier, and I said that I spoke with engineers this morning, earlier today, and all I know is that because I'm not an engineer, so I never built anything in my life. I don't know how to build anything in my life, but we know how to build very nice PowerPoint decks. But I think one of the things that we are looking forward to is actually trying to engage with engineers through IES and other bodies, and to make sure that Singapore has a standing in the deep tech space in the various areas of technology, right? So if you need any help from us, Andy and Jimmy, please don't hesitate to ask me or Eric. Okay. Right. For the rest of us, can I just ask you to put on a video so that I can see who you guys are, and also to get a response from when we're talking, and then I can see your expression if I'm not explaining something clearly. Yeah. So for example, Keith, yeah, it's nice to see you again, Keith. We haven't seen each other since, I don't know what, 2018, 2019, right? Keith, are you there? Yeah, okay. Wow, he wants to answer via chat. Okay. So I'm going to say that I think all of you are very shy in Singapore, which is par for the course. Okay. How many of you have heard of Startup Junkie? By a show of hand symbols, yes, no. Mr. Ali Manzar? Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, have you heard of
Hi.
Startup Junkie?
Sorry, what is that?
Have you heard of Startup Junkie?
No, I have not. Sorry.
Okay. Have you heard of Walmart?
Yeah, Walmart, I have heard, yeah.
Okay, so we are part of the Walmart ecosystem. And as a start, we are not part of Walmart directly. We are the venture capitalist arm of the Walton Foundation. And our work is to identify interesting and innovative technology to bring over to America and help them scale in America. Okay, So that's the job of Startup Junkie in Startup Junkie Korea, Startup Junkie Singapore, Startup Junkie Southeast Asia, which we are setting up later this year, right? So this is the whole purpose of what we are currently trying to drive at today, and share with some of you what we are doing, and to take any questions that you might have, right? So let me move to the slide deck. Okay, so Startup Junkie was set up in way back in 2008, and so far they have actually run 270 startups through the startup ecosystem with Walmart. 30 of them from Korea, and we are starting the first batch in Singapore this year. Okay, they have raised in total capital for the startups about 450,000 as of now. And I think that over the years, they have used leverage on the strategic partnerships with Walmart, Tyson Foods, JB Hunt, Axiom Outbest, UPS, FedEx, and a lot of the other companies within the ecosystem. What we offer consulting, workshops, and programs, and they also offer capital raising. And what they are very keen to do is to help companies scale in America, find clients in America. They don't just business match, they demand match. That means if you're selected for some of the programs, they will guide the company to, they will not guide the company, sorry, they will source for projects for the companies to negotiate with the enterprises themselves. Okay, so normally we do acceleration, and we only work with Fortune 500 level organizations within the Walmart ecosystem. So what's the Enterprise Entrepreneur Networks? Well, in Arkansas itself, there's more than 1,400 global brands. They are located next to Walmart HQ. They're also located next to Tyson Foods. And the span of technology they're looking at goes from fintech, logistics tech, retail tech, food tech, AI, ML, and IT solutions. So it's one of the broadest and most diverse mandates that we have, is to find interesting and innovative technology to bring over there. And that's why we are reaching out to as many people as possible and as many associations as possible to actually get this done. Okay. So how does this work? Well, basically, they identified the team over in America, and I know Andy said I got a lot of experience in America. I don't. The team in America has a lot of experience with the Walmart ecosystem, and they identify the enterprise needs and demand. They test your product with these Fortune 500 companies and help them evaluate the pre-POC and make necessary changes, and then launch the product in the US. And then they will work with you to sign further contracts and raise VC funds and scale up. Now, the programs that we run usually stop at step 2 and step 3, okay, depending on the program that we are running with the for the startup in Singapore we bring over there. And this is the part where step 4 and 5 is the company has to negotiate directly with the enterprise themselves. Startup Junkie doesn't take part in it actively, but although they broker on both sides to ensure there is no miscommunication between either parties, so that the deal doesn't fall through the cracks. Okay. So when we talked about investment funds, there are Cadron Capital Investment, New Road Capital Partners. This is actually one of the Walton family members. Tyson Foods, which is corporate VCs, Cardinal Ventures, Archangel, SUSV. These are some of the venture funds working out of Arkansas that they will socialize and promote your startups or your companies if you are requiring funding. Yeah. So they've done 25 accelerator, 27 accelerator cohorts so far from around the world, but mostly in America and inside Korea. They've done 120 early stage investors, and normally the investment is about 50 times the returns on investments for a cohort portfolio company. They have very strong VC relationships with some of the funds in America. And in Asia, they're working with the K Startup Grand Challenge cohort company investment. That's in Korea. So they're actively sourcing for Korean and Asian startups for large enterprise introduction and investment. and working, of course, with to introduce KPMG to at least 5 emerging tech companies to provide alliance opportunities within the focus target areas by KPMG. Okay. So what is it for founders? I think there are lots of programs, lots of services for founders if you participate with us and you are selected. There are things that we teach you about scaling up. There is training provided for how to pitch to Fortune 500 companies. If you're doing the AL, ML space, there's a lot of testable products and they will help you scale through their field accelerator. So there's quite a number of opportunities, options, and resources that if you are selected for the program, and they can help you with the necessary knowledge, tools. But the most important thing is business success. They do not just give you a name card and ask you to go and call these people. Introduce them, and then they actually have a problem statement already from the enterprise. So based on their experience, typically a company will land, who is selected, it will land 3 pilot programs per company with a Fortune 500 enterprise, and each one will be at a minimum of 15 to 20,000 US, up to a maximum of 250,000 US, depending, of course, on the solution that you're looking at, depending on the requirements, right? So what's the incentives for founders? Well, you get to really work with a large Fortune 500 company if you qualify, and if your technology is innovative enough and is fit for the requirements, not say fit for requirements, but has a good product market fit in the Midwest market. There are a lot of enterprise mentors. The team over there is very experienced. They help guide you in every phase of the interaction with the enterprises. And you get to land a large corporate sales contract with an American client that certainly aids valuation. And it also helps you validate beyond Singapore or outside of Asia, all right? So in the meantime, they also have other funding or JV opportunities, because what you can do in America is, if you want to grow in America, you can actually work with partners, or they can find agents for you to actually grow direct sales channel, indirect sales channel. Okay. So this is relevant to startups of all industries. Not necessarily just Walmart, because I do Walmart, everyone's heard of it, but Walmart is only one big part of the ecosystem, but there are a lot of it inside the ecosystem as well, from food tech, fintech, medical tech, educational technology. They are also open to that as long as it's innovative and it fits the needs of the requirement. They are especially hungry for AI and ML startups over there. So if you're in the AI, ML space, IoT space, let us know. I mean, we're keen to talk to you. Okay. Any questions so far? No? Everyone's clear? Okay. Well, Eric, it looks like your Q&A is going to be quite easy. Okay, so we give a few of the cases. I think Ox is a machine learning AR VR setup to help management staff with the platform they need to maximize productivity. So it's basically a spectacle screen kind of thing. They actually had a pilot with Walmart and Sam's Club, which is also Walmart, and then they developed a further strategic partnership with KPMG to do a rollout across enterprise-wide of KPMG. Okay. So this is something now, the deployment is across 1,200 stores, and the CEO, given the quick scale, is now a member of Forbes 30 Under 30. And they've moved their office from Atlanta to Arkansas because that's where the headquarters of Walmart is, and they work very closely with them to actually scale up and integrate with Walmart systems, right? So this is an example of how it can grow. Now, for those of us in Singapore, we participate virtually until such a time when the pilot is required for you all to be present, if you need to be present. If it's remote deployable, then you don't have to be physically present. If you have to fly over there, then it will be part of the negotiation for the pilot project that you will run with the enterprise. And you can negotiate how many people you need, what's the deployment time, and so on and so forth, where you're going to stay, and you go find out. It can be put inside part of the cost structure of the proposal, right? Okay, so that's it. Any questions?
Hi, Mr. Tan.
Yes, Mira?
Uh, I like to know this Walmart for retail sector, right? Is it comparable like Amazon?
Amazon,
Yeah.
Walmart is the biggest retailer in America, physical retailer in America. Amazon is virtual, right? And e-commerce. Walmart is the biggest retailer, physical retailer in America.
Yeah, for Amazon, they have a program for company that they can sell their product in their platform and all that. So how about Walmart?
No, Walmart doesn't do that. Walmart is a big box retailer. So if they have a contract with you and you can actually sign up with any buyer that they have in around the Southeast Asia region, they will give you an order, and then the order is usually in factory scale orders. They don't do small stuff.
Okay.
When small, I mean they don't do one container. They do 15 containers per order, that sort of scale.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Tan.
No problem.
Ira, are you from Singapore or where are you from?
Yeah. Yeah, I stay here.
Singapore, is it?
Yeah. But
but
I am linked to Myanmar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Walmart is a bit like NTUC here, lah. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
that's not very unfair to Walmart.
It's like NTUC here, but many times bigger. Of course, America is such a big country. So
Yeah. To understand easily.
yeah.
Mm.
Okay, we have one question in the chat box. Is there a cost to participate in the program?
Yes, there is
Felix?
a cost.
Yeah.
It's a not-for-profit, so we do take a fee for them to cover the cost. We don't take equity in lieu of the cost. So the cost is 40,000 Singapore dollars for the program if selected. You don't pay at the beginning, only after you submit, and then they determine that there is a business problem to be solved over there, and your technology or solution fits what they're trying to solve over there. Then would you invite you into the program? But it's not guaranteed that the projects are, because there's still a lot of negotiation and stuff. But it's a very high chance that you will get to discuss the projects to a very mature degree that will allow you to claim all the grants that the ESG and SSG will you can what's the word for it? You can claim up to 70% reimbursement. That's the right word. See, Eric woke up because he hear the magic word grants, right? So you can reimburse up to 70% for the MRA, 40,000, and you can claim additional 10,000 for SSG Skills Future, which Eric will share later if you're asking him in detail. And therefore, the program actually costs in the end no more than $2,000.
Yeah,
But you must pay for it first, and then you claim back 38.
Yeah, maybe I can share a little bit more about this. All right. So because this program is quite heavy on business matching and business development, right? So local companies from Singapore with 30% local shareholding can actually try to apply for MRA, the Market Readiness Assistance Grant from ESG, Enterprise Singapore. They will fund up to 70% of the cost. So if let's say it is 40,000, they will fund 28,000. They reimburse 28,000 of the cost to the company. On top of that, there's also Skills Future Enterprise Credit under ESG. This part is automated. You don't have to apply for it. If your company have at least 3 local full-time headcount, they will fund a further 10,000. So that's why Ethan mentioned 40,000 minus 28 minus 10. Actually, the net cost to the company is only 2,000. If all the grants, if you're eligible for all the grants and you get reimbursement from ESG. Yeah. I hope that helps.
Yes. So we are looking for companies with a POC already and corporate clientele that you've implemented for, so that they are able to work and they understand that you are able to work with enterprise clients on the other side. And this allows them to quickly find a match for you rather than train you up through another 6 months of getting a product for POC. So if you're not really ready, they will let you know you're not really ready, especially during the interview, if you have been granted an interview with them. So this is where it's also a learning thing. But as long as you know that the program is there, company can still work towards it over a 2 to 3 year timeline. And that's what we're here to facilitate. That's why we have a presence in this part of the world. They're opening a presence here so that we can start getting Singaporean companies to start thinking going to America.
Ethan, how do they apply, and is there a deadline to it?
Okay, we're closing it by the end of the month. If you're keen, you stay back a little bit. Eric and I will share a bit more of the details about it. If you have any questions, this is the Q&A and the networking all rolled out into one. And that's when we will answer any queries that you may have if you're thinking about it. Or you're thinking for your customers about it if you're a consultant.
Maybe I'll just ask, maybe you can give more context about Walmart, Walton Foundation, and these brands. How did these brands come to be associated with the Startup Junkie, just for the audience to understand? Okay, so Walmart, how to say about Walmart? All the Walmart children don't work for the rest of their life anymore because they're all billionaires, right? So to answer a question Mira hasn't asked, imagine Coca-Cola but bigger. Okay, so that's Walmart. So they are that big, and they have one of the most largest logistics systems on the ground in America. But they are always on a challenge that they have to continually revolutionize their business model. Right now, you mentioned that how big are they against Amazon? The biggest concern is Amazon will come in and do e-com and e-com groceries for them. So yes, they're concerned about that, but they are also not in a bad shape. Walmart is doing quite well in America. Now, in terms of why was Startup Junkie brought in, because enterprises, if any of you are in startups, how many of you are in startups? It's just by a show of hands, okay? If not, it's also okay. Now, if you're in a startup, you'll find that many enterprises have no idea what startups go through. Agree? They think that you guys are like that. So what Startup Junkie was to be a bridge, right, with between the enterprises and startups. So they would manage expectations on the enterprises and also uplift the skills of the startups so that they are able to sell and pitch to enterprises. So the program that you see, a lot of it is coaching you how to sell corporate sales, right? And that's the important skill that many people do not know. And I'm a corporate sales specialist in my work. We train B2B for all the MNCs in the region. I can tell you it's hard work. Okay, so they are guiding the startups how to pitch, how to explain, how to do up the slides, how to understand the customer's issues, how to show that you understand the customer's issues. That's what they will be covering in the training while they're meeting up, credentializing you to the customers or their potential enterprise clients that you may be getting. Okay. So why do they do this? Yeah, well, the American Midwest, if you know, it's not New York, it's not Philadelphia, not Boston, it's not San Francisco, it's not Seattle or Oregon. Okay, so what happens over there is that it's in the middle of nowhere, and therefore they want to bring as much tech from around the world and in America into the Midwest, right? The Midwest is small town America, flat, farmers, grassland. But that's also where all the food is produced. That's also where all of the logistics hubs are in America. If you go down there, it's like they're in Atlanta, it's Coca-Cola, Tyson Foods in Arkansas, okay, Walmart's from Arkansas. So these are all Midwest corporations. Now, if you look at the list of companies over there, they're all Fortune 500. I've never heard of them. And in the ecosystem, the banks that they have over there,
I've also never heard of them because they're not the Bank of America. Okay. No, they don't want to digitalize their business. They're looking to add on to your tech. That's a good question, Ali. Their business model is to find promising companies to actually bring into the ecosystem. The ecosystem is huge. So it almost, if the technology is useful or is innovative enough, you can just submit to us for evaluation, and then, or you think it's innovative enough, you can submit to us for evaluation. We will send it up to Startup Junkie America to see if there's a business fit, and if there's no business fit or it's not innovative enough, they will give you some feedback about that. It's a good question. I would say 95%, Felix. And usually they get 3.
Can I say basically there's no cost to apply and
there's no cost to submit.
There's no
There's
cost
only
to
cost
submit,
to
right?
participate. Yes.
Okay. So only if you get selected, then we talk about the cost, right?
Only
so,
when we invite you for the program, then we talk to you about the cost.
Okay, we have a question from Vitono. How do we sign up and what is the selection process like?
As I mentioned earlier, if you're keen to know, you can stay back. I think Eric will share with you some of the details, and we will get your email. Sorry, Andy will get your email, or we will get your email contact, and I will send you the submission pack. Keith, nice to see you again. See you. Any other questions? Sorry, we don't know. Are you from Singapore?
Yes, in fact, I am.
Okay. Are you Singaporean?
Yes.
Okay, good. Then you only, in the end, pay almost nothing if you haven't used it before. The grants, right?
Yeah, we have tried before, and it just sometimes it takes very long.
Or the reimbursement? I don't know, Eric. Does it take very long to get reimbursed?
Reimbursement or sorry, can I check the reimbursement or the application stage?
The reimbursement, the grant.
Okay, yeah. So what we can control normally, I mean, I can guide you along as well for that. What we normally can control is how fast we can submit the documents and pass the auditors, because all grants from ESG need to be audited by a pre-approved panel of auditors. Right. So after it has passed the audit, right? Well, the ball falls in the court of the officer in charge. So for that, I always tell my friends and clients that it is a matter of luck, right? But most of the time, it's within 2 months. Right? If anything take more than 2 months, you should really write in to the official email and give a feedback. Normally, that helps to expedite the process. I mean, for your future grant applications. There is an internal KPI. They're supposed to clear within 3 months. Supposed to.
Okay, Ali, I can give you a deck on the ecosystem that they have, and then you can understand a bit more of what they're looking at. But our mandate is very broad. As long as the technology is sufficiently innovative enough, and that's a very vague bar. So far, we've actually got A-star patented, or companies with A-star patents looking to commercialize. We're looking at some of the companies that we are looking at the moment, but maybe in 2 to 3 years' time, ask them to apply later, is in robotics. So this is as long a time span as we have. You may not qualify for this cohort, does not necessarily mean that you will not qualify for the next cohort or cohort 2 to 3 years from now. So leave your details later. We will give you a deck to maybe understand a little bit better, and maybe we can brief you, subsequently. So you don't, at the end of this, if you still want us to talk to you about it, just leave Andy or us your contact, and then we can follow up with you for maybe a more focused discussion on what the program's about, so that any one of you can get a better idea than what we're doing in the general briefing, and we can talk to you specifically about your solution, whether it fits the criteria or not. Yeah. So it's not that straight away we'll give you a submission pack and that's it. So if you still even if we give you a submission pack, we will still encourage you to have a briefing with us so that we can walk you through the steps and make sure that there is no managing expectations on everybody's side, and there's no misunderstanding.
Oh, hi, Eric. Mr. Tan, Eric Tan.
Hi, yep. Hi.
How long does it take for SG Founder Grant usually?
I'm sorry?
How long does it take for applying SG Founder Grant?
Startup SG Founder Grant?
Yeah, Founder Grant. Founder Grant, yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The grant that this program is applicable for is the Market Readiness Assistant, not the Startup SG Founder Grant.
Yeah, I'd like to know the information. Just like to know information.
Okay, maybe you can, I can take the question. Yeah. So if you want to apply for SG Founder, you need to find a accredited mentor partner to work with you to get that grant process. So IES INCA is one of these accredited mentor partner. Generally speaking, if you have all the documents ready and all of them are properly filled up, it takes about 2 to 4 weeks to get approval from Enterprise Singapore. Yeah. So yeah, getting it ready can take maybe 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how much information you need and whether you have the right founding team and whether all your documents are ready. So in 2022, just in June, there is a new change of this SG Founder Grant, and now there's a criteria where you need to have the founders take entrepreneurship course. Yeah, so that can take from 6 weeks to 10 weeks to complete. So can take a look at the SG Founder website to look at some of these new criteria and yeah, take a closer look at that. I will share the link in the chat for you. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Andy.
Maybe question for Ethan, what kind of companies should not apply for this to save you some time?
Well, if you're actually very early series, you don't have yet a POC, or you don't have an MVP yet, or a market product, then it's too early for you to apply. That's for this program. Does that help?
So no MVP, no working prototype, maybe too early, probably too early.
So typically a company we're looking at usually a size of minimum of 4 to 5 people already. Usually a revenue of up to about $500,000 to $1 million USD. That's roughly the range of what we're looking at. But it's not definitive. We are also looking for companies that have the potential, but at this moment, just on the cusp of commercialization. But it usually has to do with the fact that it's got a patent and it's a very strong deep tech potential.
So having patents will be important, right?
It's one way. It's not necessarily very important. The patents, there are a lot of patents in the world. But I think it's more important is how close you are to commercializing the patent and the roadmap forward.
Okay. Yeah.
Is there any other things from the that we can share, or is there any other things that you want to ask us in general?
So if the company is more like a product design company and they have a product to sell that could sell within the Walmart ecosystem for retail, is this the right
Okay, no,
to go for?
it's actually the wrong one. Actually, the Walmart has a buyer office in many of the Asian countries in Southeast Asia, not in Singapore because they don't source it. So they have one in Ho Chi Minh, they have one in Manila, they have also a couple in Jakarta, and anyone can sign it. You don't need to go through us. And that's really for to get to the retail space. But Walmart doesn't do small batches. That's Walmart makes your brand number one in America, so you've got to have the scale to do to number one in America. That's why they call big box retailer. They don't do small lots, right? So that's why they don't have a base in Singapore, because so far we don't have the access to it, that the kind of quantity that they're looking at. But it's a good question, because we are building a separate channel to Walmart with Startup Junkie for SMEs to sell products, or not necessarily to Walmart, but into the American ecosystem. It could be that it could be a virtual Canton Fair equivalent, and allows people to expose exhibitors over there to source for brands in Asia to bring over to America. So that's something we're working on. But Startup Junkie first. The first one we do first, one step at a time. Let us mention again that we're very lean. There's only me and Eric in Singapore, and I think the whole of Asia, there's only 3 of us. Louis Diesel in Korea, so we don't have that much resources to do 1,001 thing. So
So for this cycle of the program, is there like a quota of number of companies that can be supported? Or?
Oh, quota upper limit is 10. We are not looking that much. We're actually looking at about 5 companies maximum. We think it's reasonable, given the quality that it's the quality and the stage of maturity of the company. That's important. So, I mean, if you wanted a lot of submission, we can go on to Venture Build, and we get lots of submission, but that's not what you're looking at. We'd have to reject a lot of the people. So it's not about quota numbers. We're actually really keen on bringing companies with have a high potential to scale in America.
Yeah.
But we're open to talking to anybody at this to share.
Okay, we have a comment from Ali. US itself has a big pool of talents and innovation. And looking at China, how can we compete there in the USA?
Sorry,
for Singaporeans?
So who's looking at China? Could you clarify that, Ali? Are you talking about Singapore competing with China, or?
No. What I'm saying is because we are selling our products, right, or whatever. I mean, we are doing, right. So the resources. I mean, USA have a lot of resources compared to us, and they are supporting a lot of things. And China is making so cheap things, right? So how we will compete in Walmart in USA and other areas?
Well, we're not doing products and solutions. Walmart has made Haier the number 3 electronics brand in the world just by being their biggest customer. So that's not what we are currently doing in Singapore. We are there to look for solutions. In the AI ML space, we have companies in Singapore that has turned us down because they're already working with American companies over there, and they have very good IP defense. Their IPs are stronger than what China has, based on the standards that they have. So it doesn't mean it's cheap. It's good products. If they copy products, you should go to America, because at least your IP is better protected in America than in China, right? Because in America, you can sue somebody. In China, even if you can sue them with legal contracts and all that, enforcing that is also very difficult. So that's one of the things. Now, in terms of America has many talents, many of the talents are not inside the Midwest. They're on the East Coast, West Coast. America, as you know, is very big. I'm a Singaporean, so I have no real scale to think about. So that's why the Midwest offers a huge opportunity for Asians, because most of us also don't go there, and Asian companies. So it's actually where the playground is relative to the whole of America. It's like the same as you go to China. Eric and I have explored China, And we have not found a China expert. No one dares call himself a China expert. You can tell I'm very familiar with Shenzhen. I'm very familiar with Guangzhou. I'm very familiar by city, but no one dares says I know the whole of China. So it's again very regional specific.
Yeah, one more question I have, because as you just now mentioned, this IP kind of things, right? And you are saying this is in USA, this is more protected compared to China and some other countries. But the thing is, for a small company, suppose, I mean, Singapore, small company, they are going to participate there. The cost of IP itself, in a one country is huge. It's not that small. And if you are going to country to country, we have to spend this IP cost in every country, because suppose you go to India, right? So India, every state have their own IP. So it's not one country, you do the IP, then whole thing is done. I think same is in China also, because it depends state to state.
No,
this is a huge
it's
money.
actually, it's not state to state, but the enforcement is state to state. But the IP is actually national. In America, the IP patents is national. It's not state to state. There's a national IP office in America. That's the National Patent Office. It's not state to state patent.
Oh, got it.
So I'm not familiar with India. So it might be the case in India, but I think in going to America, if your technology is unique enough, it's differentiated enough, it's not easily replicated, then you have no fear of your IP being compromised, because that's why you work with trusted partners like Walmart, because they have no need for them to copy your IP. They might as well work with you to scale up, and it's much easier that way.
Thank you.
So for those who are interested in the USA market, if Startup Junkie's path is not suitable for you, there's also other paths to get to the USA market. IES INCA is a platform. We do have other market mentors that can support you as well. And not just USA, but also in Southeast Asia and in China, in Japan. IES INCA's role is to really provide you all the platform that helps your tech business to grow. Yeah, so feel free to talk to me if you have any needs, and can also support you through our incubation acceleration programs. Yeah.
I think we're not mutually exclusive. I think we work together because basically we're here to promote and help small businesses scale, right? And I think that's where we want to see Asian technology, not necessarily when we say Asian technology, we mean China tech. We actually mean Southeast Asian technology, Southeast Asian solutions. Now you might say that that's not where we look for innovation. I disagree. I think there's lots of innovation in Southeast Asia itself, right? It's just that we assume on average that there isn't. But we've seen quite a number of submissions, and companies are talking to us from Vietnam, Malaysia. I'm very interested in. I never expected it from. I would say I never expected that these organizations to actually be invested in entrepreneurship. So don't sell yourself short. If you don't think, even if you're not quite ready, or you don't feel it's ready, I mean, we are open to having a discussion with you. There's nothing for us in a discussion to take your idea, because we're not really that interested in stealing people's idea. We're here to help people grow. And I think that's the purpose of Startup Junkie as well as Walmart. Walmart has no need to steal your IP, because their revenue, I think, is close to, I don't know, I think 250 billion a year. That's a lot, right? But you must understand that in retail, how should I put it? Retail, their revenue numbers are very big. Manchester United makes about 1 billion in revenue a year. Manchester United Football Club. A branch of a supermarket in America, a branch manager makes 1 billion US in revenue also. It's just different revenue, right? And the branch manager is more profitable than Manchester United Football Club. Okay, so that's how roughly it sometimes works. So it's better with large numbers.
Anybody like to share about your business, and can chat about it also? Anybody Anybody doing some exciting technology like to impress us? Okay, all very quiet today.
Because it's on Zoom.
Maybe Ethan, you can unshare your screen, then we can see each other a bit bigger. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So whoever's keen, just maybe the easiest is just write an email to admin@startupjunkiesg.com. Is that right? And then
That's one way. The other one, you can leave it with you, because of course you are also the organizer and co-host with us, and I think that's also another way for you to upsell INCA, IES as well, if you're already not IES members.
okay.
We are a very narrow program. I think for IES, potential IES members, it's a very broad ecosystem that they have on the ground here, as opposed to Startup Junkie. Startup Junkie, yeah, we have a lot of services and solutions, but I think that's also because we rely on partners, and we have valuable partners like IES also help us out a lot.
Okay, no problem. Anybody has any needs, dreaming of how you want to build your tech business, just feel free to chat with us. Yeah. I will also share you my slides at the end of this session by email. Then we also share the recording for you all to look back at Ethan's presentation. Ethan, your slides are shareable, just checking.
Those slides are fine, no worries.
Okay.
Our website will just reflect mostly what the slides are saying.
Okay, sure. So Ethan's slides will also be sent to you, so you can just read through and then feel free to inquire with any of us. Yeah.
We have a different deck of slides for the testbed program. So those who are more interested in understanding how that works, just leave your email or send us an email or leave your contact with Andy. And then we will follow up with you with a more in-depth brief.
Okay, Ken.
Okay. Right. Andy, we have one. Yeah. Mini Moto.
Yeah. Mitono's I met him quite a long time ago. Yeah. When we
Really?
were into
An old
the
friend.
e-scooter days. Yeah, but Mitono has moved on to build many other mobility devices. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Again, another person that can build stuff. Sorry. I'm just a business student, so we only know how to do like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's still a skill that we could benefit from.
Yes, it's a skill that you benefit from, but you end up doing all side X for everybody else. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Stephen Chua. Right. Stephen Chua as well. Thank you, Stephen. Okay. Any other questions? I mean, if not, you can just quickly let us know. If you're still considering, just let us know. It's free, right? Yeah. So yes, it's a huge market. Highly encourage startups to explore. If you think you're confident you're good enough, we're there to help you become better and then scale in America if you fit the criteria. If you don't yet fit the criteria, we're here to help you all build towards that.
Okay. Yeah. KS is very experienced in the USA. When I sat down with him and learned his story. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Maybe JS can bring it back to the Pollinate.
Hi, hello everybody. Yeah, JS here. Yeah, manager of Pollinate. Yeah. Okay, yeah, good to see you all. Yeah, US is a big market. So I was there in year 2001, the 9th, 11th, year. So, but still, it helped to propel, our company, to the next stage. Okay, yeah, I think easily double or triple, our revenue. Yeah, just with a few customers. So we basically we did OEM for remanufacturing of alternator and starters. So yeah, we do OEM, for they put all the used spoiled, alternator and starter inside the container. Then they ship it to our plant in JB. Then we do the rebuild, for them. So with that, we actually managed to change our business model from just a trading, exporting company, to OEM. Yeah, so tremendous opportunity, tremendous. So my office was based in Atlanta also. So I set up a logistic marketing center there. Yeah, so yeah, very easy to set up business. Open a bank account, we're talking about like 2 hours. Bring your passport, then on the spot, you got a checkbook, already, you can sign check already, you got right. So traveling is like fantastic. Atlanta is the biggest airport per year. So it's well connected, to all the cities. So I just fly around, if it is down south, right, I just rent a car. And that time, year 2000, right, yeah, they already, you can already rent a GPS, device, in the rented car already. So once I departed, from the airport, then I just rent a car, key in the address, and yeah, there we go. Just drive around, meet my customer, and yeah, from there we close the deal. Yeah, other than just a trade show and exhibition. So, all right. So that's all my sharing. Yeah.
Thank you, JS. Yeah.
I think in America, if you go there and you scale, you have to change the business model that you're operating on. And I think that's a very big shift, but it's a good shift. I think in Singapore, for those of us who live in Singapore and have businesses only in Singapore, you're a high cost country. It's very hard to sell to the region, which is a low cost. And the other way of expanding and regionalizing is actually getting deals from source markets, custom resource markets, and then outsourcing into the region, and then you can actually make the difference and scale a lot faster. So that's one of the things we're encouraging a lot of people to understand and to have an opportunity to rethink and test out the business model, at least the product over in America, and then they can pivot their business models later. I think that's important to actually have things on the ground to do in America. And a partner like Startup Junkie that is offering privileged access and guided access, I think that's very hard to find. Okay, so how to find the ESG? Always, I didn't know this. They are working with us on this one, but yeah, it's quite hard to find.
Okay. Maybe last 1 or 2 questions, anybody, before we wrap up for today? Is any question about the program or IES INCA or MRA grant?
Hey, don't arrow Eric for nothing.
All right, open to share.
Yeah, last round he already MRA grant in detail so yeah. If you all, by the way, IES INCA has a YouTube channel, so we try to put down whatever we have learned from the speakers, and also whichever sharing we have done about trends, about technology opportunities, about even technopreneurs journey, we try to put on our YouTube channel. So do check it out. Yeah. And let us know what you like to see. Yep.
Okay. Out of curiosity, anybody thinking of going Korea to expand?
Yes, actually, I don't know if you know the Korea Case Startup Competition. We were actually trying to join the competition.
There are a couple of competitions over there, but Startup Junkie has an office in Korea, in Seoul, where there's a full-time staff over there. So there's only 3 full-time people in Asia. Eric, me, and Louis Diesel over there. So we work very closely with Louis Diesel. We can have a chat. If you understand a bit more of what you're looking at, with Tono, then we can figure out how we can help you out or work with you. Right? So that would be interesting. But I'm not interested in Korea. I'm more interested in Southeast Asia.
I see.
But it's a different potential, right?
Here's our YouTube channel for anybody who's interested. Please do check it out.
Are you the star?
I'm usually the host, but usually we have different speakers.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you are the star lah, because everybody will have to see you to get access to the YouTube channel. Okay.
I'm just the host lah. Somebody has to introduce the channel, introduce the speakers, so that's me lah.
So in America, late night hosts have very big contracts.
So yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe any last comments before I wrap up, Ethan?
No, I don't. I think I'm sure you know how to get in touch with Andy if you have any more questions. And I've seen that we've got a couple of people that are keen to find out and talk to us about more. We will reach out to you guys. By tomorrow, you expect an email from us, and then you can get a sense of what we do. We would of course recommend that we run through the presentation with you as well, the PowerPoint presentation with you as well, right? So that you don't misunderstand anything we wrote, or we didn't write clearly and left vague explanations or gaps in the explanation and need clarification, right? And no, thank you very much. I mean, me and Eric and Andy appreciate this, right? And we look forward to hearing more of your journey in business as well as in entrepreneurship in the future, whether you work with us or not.